I hope you will be absolutely blessed by the content you're about to view. Let's see the heart of the Father as we delve into matters of divorce from perspectives you likely have not heard before. I trust that the Lord will use the truth to set someone free to accomplish purpose and destiny while strengthening us in doing everything that is right and good. Please like, subscribe, and share. God bless you.
We're here to tell the truth.
We have a question that says, what should the church do to support and help spouses that are headed towards divorce?
If a spouse is headed towards divorce, we should do our best to bring them back and help them not achieve that divorce. Now, again, I'm a pastor, so you're going to have to see situations where you look at it and you wonder what on earth to do. You know, it's really bad. One spouse or the other is doing their best. Sometimes there's a lot of insincerity. Someone has a hidden lover and is pretending. You know, it's a human heart. People are very wicked. They are looking for things to blame the spouse for. Meanwhile, they have a hidden lover and they want it to break up. Now, men do this, women do this. Wicked, cruel actions pretend that the spouse is such a big problem that they just want to go away.
Yes.
Men may have done it more, especially in Africa. In the Western world, I don't think it's still that way. You know, about 80% of divorces are initiated by the woman. But let's come this way. I don't know the statistics here, but women will typically hide it more. Typically hide their reason. Men are more open about the reason. Where there's a couple headed towards divorce and they are Christians, the first is that they are going to need to really care and hate the idea of divorce with all the heart. It shouldn't be lightly treated. They should do everything, including, I've told people that are struggling to have traveled to meet them, spend time with them, stayed, talked, invited them. You know, you try to do different things. How long may it last? If even human courts give you months, sometimes 6 months between a first hearing.
Yes.
What the lawyers call a decree initial and a decree absolute, before it's a final thing. One may allow them to be separated for a while, hoping why there's that gap in the laws is so that they hopefully may resolve it and withdraw their divorce proceedings. Even human courts insist on doing that. How much more the church? But I think some churches just go, well, whatever. That's their choice. We shouldn't want that choice to stand. So prayer, correction, rebuke, wading in properly, listening, and stopping the constant focus on, well, if only you cook better, if only you get home earlier, if only you show how much affection, take her out more. If only we'd stop all that. Those are flowers on a tree. If we go after the tree, what's the real deal? Are you sure you ever got born again? You born again? Do you have issues of rejection? So understand that many people who divorce, their parents divorced. The people who have come from a broken family stand the greatest chance of divorcing. That's absolutely not. So something in them is open-minded to that evil. The church can help by teaching the truth on how God sees divorce extensively, not lightly. Second, since people have issues and we're talking about real solutions, many things are demonic. There are people struggling under the influence of spirits that say, in your family, divorces will happen. Sometimes curses exist. If you want to prevent this, then there'll have to be warfare. The church will have to war for that couple. I've seen so many people delivered from demonic oppression that would certainly have destroyed their marriages. Certainly. If I could tell one or two stories. A couple were to marry, they stumbled. It wasn't just that. I've seen this happening a number of times, and in seeking the Lord leads and says, let them not marry yet. a year later. And a year later, they get married. And they say, they admit themselves that if we had married earlier, the husband says his own, the wife says it would have been absolutely disastrous. I don't think we would have survived for a week. The wife said that if she had married the husband, that she intended to put him through hell for the earlier delay in marrying her. That it was her plan to torment him terribly once they get married. Then that 1 year gap that the Lord instructed them to wait before the wedding ceremonies, that she underwent a mental adjustment, an extensive mental adjustment, that she was planning to spend the first couple of years of their marriage dealing with him. Now, so you see people married, there'll be all that dancing, wearing of gowns, smiling, pictures, and the foundation is evil. I'm praying for someone that is soon to get married, and the person falls out of the chair. I finish praying, the person kneels and stands up, walks over to the chair and slumps and falls over like a dead person. It's terrible. I mean, the way they slumped, it was just... And comes out of it later and talks about being a vision and seeing something from their lineage, seeing something with family, older family, going ahead. And it's like basically it's a spirit that attaches to the males in the family. And it's telling this one, this. And in that time I prayed for him, and this woman is carrying, and he's on a motorbike behind her. And in that time I pray, after praying, he was taken off. Simply was detached. Now he could have married with that. Then you have this adulterous husband. And that spirit was a spirit of adultery, and in his lineage that has been. And it would have gone on. And then you would say, how could he do this to her? But you're dealing with heavier stuff. Much, much heavier stuff. It's why I am also of the mind concerning divorce. You see, many divorces, people talk as though it's the individuals, the couple, that are responsible for everything that happens. I repeat, there are forces way beyond people. You can't say it's money. I saw earlier today that Rupert Murdoch has married at 90 something, has married his 5th wife. Rupert Murdoch owns Fox News Incorporated, everything, just news, many things. Times of London, he owned it at the time, Wall Street Journal, and then just so many other things you can't imagine. Fox TV, everything. Massive guy. He's a billionaire. Why is he still marrying? How many times will he marry? Still looking for happiness. What's happening with him? So truth be told is that many people struggle with many challenges. Only God knows. So when you see a bound person and you treat them as though they are accountable for everything they do and blame them the same way, you're probably not being exactly like Jesus. Jesus turns, looks and says, you haven't sinned, stone her. Then he says, woman, no one's condemned you. I'm not condemning you. Go and sin no more. Some say, could that have been Mary Magdalene? I don't think so. It was shortly before he died. But the Bible tells us he cast 7 demons out of Mary Magdalene. And it talks about a woman who wiped his feet with her hair. 7 demons. If someone is bound by 7 demons and beats his wife, abuses his children physically, beats them terribly. If a woman has demons and is jumping from man to man in secret, can't control herself, and you blame her 100% as though she made all these choices, does that not show a lack of understanding of spiritual things? When we read the Bible, we have to read it with this understanding. We have the pictures from the law and the prophets, but we also have the examples and teachings from the New Testament. And you hear Paul say things like, you were like this, but now I am saying don't be like this anymore. Because God understands that there's something like a captive. Even if the person is a lawful captive, put themselves in that situation, but they are still captives. You have Samson bound, used to grind corn. Then he's between 2 pillars and he prays and God hears him. He's a lawful captive, but God hears him and uses him to bring victory bigger than all the victories he had when he was free. So God can do things even with those that we would throw away. Nobody is saying that you should misbehave. So God will use you. You can't guarantee he'll do anything with you. You can't guarantee your hair will grow again. You can't guarantee it. However, you can give a chance to people who have. Why don't let them stand and fall to God? Let God be the one that says, Samson, don't bother.
Yes.
Don't bother, Samson. After all the things you've done with Philistine women, don't bother. Let God be the one to say that. Take note, I'm not talking about sin. I'm only talking about divorce. I'm talking about one who had sinned, including even if it was an adulterous situation.
Yes.
Let us not take the prerogative of God and determine that this can never be because I say so, or God must say so. No. We've heard the arguments from both sides, and I think that God is much more open and kind and redemptive than we've given him the recognition